Hello everyone, Namaskara. So in this video, I will bring to you Karnataka current affairs of one full year. Now I know that there are thousands of news and current affairs from Karnataka, but what I have done in this video is to filter the grain from the chaff. So I will bring to you 120 most important current affairs that every person from Karnataka should know if he is appearing for any of the local exam. Like Karnataka, there is a KPSC exam, administrative exam, which is for Karnataka Public Service Commission, or Karnataka SI, Karnataka TET. There are different exams in Karnataka, Karnataka SSC, Karnataka PSC, Karnataka TET. Basically, if you are preparing for any exam in Karnataka, then this video will be very useful for you. Also, we have the paid courses for these exams. If you want to check out, just download our mobile app. And I am the current affairs expert of Study IQ. My name is Dr. Gaurav Garg. So if you want to study daily current affairs from me, and there is a paid course for that also, you need to download our app. The link I have put in the description and pinned comment below. On that note, let's start the video. According to the annual ranking of the police stations for the year 2021, the Manvi PS police station, which is in Raichur district, bagged which rank in the list of top 10 police stations across India? Now, Ministry of Home Affairs, we know that police is a state subject and it is under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So, Ministry of Home Affairs, remember that they have given a list of the best 10 police stations in India. And the best police station of India is the Sadar Bazar police station, which is in New Delhi. But there is a good news for Karnataka that in the top 10 list, there is one police station from Karnataka also. And you can see the name here. It is Manvi PS. That is Manvi police station, which is located in Raichur. So it was at 5th position. So you can say the 5th best police station of India lies in Karnataka. Right? And where is it? It is in Raichur district. And who is the Home Minister of India? It is Mr. Amit Shah. And Amit Shah is also the Minister for Cooperatives. His Lok Sabha constituency is Gandhinagar, which is the capital of Gujarat. Now let's talk about Swachh Sarvekshan. Do you remember that when Swachh Sarvekshan was launched for the first time by the Ministry of Housing Urban Affairs, then Mysuru was declared as the cleanest city of India. But in the succeeding Swachh Sarvekshan, it has been Indore ever since. And this time also, Indore was the cleanest city. It was adjudged as the cleanest city in India for the 5th time in a row. So this was the sixth edition. This was the 6th edition of the Swachh Sarvekshan. And Swachh Bharat Mission, Urban and Quality Council of India, they assisted in this survey. But it was done by the Ministry of Housing Urban Affairs. And Chhattisgarh is the cleanest state of India. Chhattisgarh was ranked as the cleanest state of India. Now let me show you the rankings. So states were divided into small and large states. Now here large means that state which has more than 100 urban local bodies. That is a large state. So Karnataka of course is a large state, and you can see in the large states Karnataka was ranked at 8th position. Right? And which is the cleanest small state in India? It is Jharkhand. Overall Chhattisgarh was the winner. So if in the exam they ask you which is the cleanest state, the answer would be Chhattisgarh. But if they ask you which is the cleanest state in India with less than 100 urban local bodies, then the answer would be Jharkhand. And what was the rank of Karnataka? Then you have to answer that Karnataka was 8th among the large states. Now I will now tell you the category wise ranking. So you can see Mysore was at 7th position in those cities where the population is between 1 to 10 lakh. So now I am telling you the sub-categorization of the Swachh Sarvekshan. In the cities with population between 1 lakh to 10 lakh, Mysuru was ranked number 7 and Hubli Dharwad was ranked at 25th position. Now let me tell you the ranking among those cities which have a population of more than 10 lakh. In that, Bruhat, Bengaluru was at 28th position. 28th position. Now let me tell you the individual awards that were won under different categories by the cities or by the towns in Karnataka. Now you can see in the 3 to 10 lakh population bracket, the fastest mover medium city is Hubli Dharwad. Hubli Dharwad was awarded the fastest mover medium city award in the category of 3 to 10 lakh. Mysuru in the category of 3 to 10 lakh got the award best sustainable medium city. So which is the best self-sustainable medium city of India in the 3 to 10 lakh category? It is Mysuru. Then let's talk about Bengaluru. It got the fastest mover mega city tag. Mega city is that which has a population of more than 40 lakh. In that category, Bengaluru was the fastest mover. Then we have a small city called Mudhol. This is in the bracket 50,000 to 1 lakh. So in the population between 50,000 and 1 lakh, Mudhol, right? Mudhol is in Bagalkot. It is in Bagalkot district of Karnataka. It got the fastest mover city award. Let's talk about Hosdurga. So Hosdurga is located in Chitradurga, and in the category of 25,000 to 50,000 population category, it was declared as the cleanest city of the South Zone. Understood? Then let's talk about Krishnaraj Nagara, which is in Mysuru. Krishnaraj Nagar is a town in Mysuru. In the South Zone, it was declared as the best city in the citizen feedback in the category of 25,000 to 50,000. Now let's talk about Kumta. Okay, Kumta. Kumta is in Uttar Kannada district. And Kumta again in the category of 25,000 to 50,000, it was declared as the best self-sustainable city of the South Zone. And finally, Piriyapatna. So Piriyapatna is also in Mysuru, right? In the less than 25,000 population category, it got the best city in the citizen feedback. So these are all the awards that were won by Karnataka in the Swachh Sarvekshan, which was the 6th edition conducted by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. One bad thing for Karnataka was that in the top 10 overall, there was no Karnataka city, not even Mysuru. Right? So what was the rank of Karnataka in the Swachh Sarvekshan? I showed you the list here. You can see the rank of Karnataka. Karnataka was at 8th position. So can you answer this question now? What was the rank of Karnataka? 8th. Now let's take a look at some other important MCQs. What is the name of the Krishi van? Okay, you can see the van here. These are Krishi van. These were launched by the Karnataka government recently. And these were flagged off by Mr. Yedurappa, former Chief Minister of Karnataka. And he flagged off 40 Krishi vans, okay, in Bengaluru. So these are called Krishi Sanjeevani van. The answer is option A, Krishi Sanjeevani van. So what will this van do? This van will basically take the sample of the soil from the farmer's field, and it will then take the sample to the laboratory, and it will tell the farmer about soil, water and pest, which are the crops he can sow in the field for best output, which are the pesticide to use, how much water to give, and all the best practices will be shared depending upon the quality or the fertility of the soil. Farmers will also be taught about the pest control, how to control weeds and all these things. So this will be done by the Krishi Sanjeevani van. It is like a mobile laboratory. The Karnataka government has decided to celebrate Onake Obbava Jayanti on which of the following day? Onake Obbava Jayanti. Remember, it will be celebrated on 11th of November here on. Okay. From 2021 onwards, it will be celebrated now every year on 11th of November. So who was Onake Obbava? She is a very brave warrior. She was a woman warrior who fought the forces of Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali, you know, he was the ruler of Mysore kingdom, and Hyder Ali was the father of Tipu Sultan. So she fought against Hyder Ali single-handedly. She had this pestle in her hand, which in Kannada we call Onake, right? And this fight took place in the Battle of Chitradurga in the 18th century, because Hyder Ali invaded the Chitradurga fort, and that time Chitradurga fort was ruled by Madakari Nayaka, and Chitradurga fort is the fort of the 7 circles, you know. It is situated in Chitradurga, which is approximately 200 km from Bangalore. So that is why Onake Obbava, she, her story needs to be told to the future generation. That is why Onake Obbava Jayanti will be celebrated 11th of November. Now let me add here some points. Recently, the government of India has declared many new days. When I say new days, they were celebrated for the first time. So for example, 15th of November, it is the foundation day for Jharkhand. But more importantly, it is the birth anniversary of Birsa Munda. Birsa Munda, the tribal freedom fighter from Jharkhand. And this will be now celebrated as the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Janjatiya Gaurav means Tribal Pride Day. Then we have 16th of November. 16th of November was celebrated as the CAG Audit Divas for the first time to recognize the contribution of auditing in daily affairs. And 26th of December will be celebrated as the Veer Bal Divas. And 16th of January will be celebrated as the National Startups Day. And 14th of August, one day before the Independence Day, will be celebrated as Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. So a lot of these new days have been declared by the Indian government, and you need to be very well versed in all of these. Recently, the Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai inaugurated Karmik Bhavan in which city? Karmik Bhavan was inaugurated, remember, in Hubli. In Hubli. And he said that Karmik Bhavan will be constructed in every district of Karnataka. Now, of course, Karnataka has 31 districts. And in every district of Karnataka, there will be a Karmik Bhavan. Right? So, he also inaugurated a mobile clinic. Mobile clinic. And what was the name of that? He called it Shramik Sanjeevani. Shramik is a construction laborer, okay, construction worker. Karmik is also a laborer. So these are the efforts by the Labor Department of Karnataka. Understood? Recently, which Odia poet has been selected for the Kuvempu Rashtriya Puruskaram? Kuvempu Rashtriya Puruskar, remember, it was given to Dr. Rajendra Kishore Panda. Dr. Rajendra Kishore Panda, and this award carries a prize of 5 lakh rupees. There is a silver medal that is given, and there is a citation that is given. So Dr. Rajendra Kishore Panda won the Kuvempu Rashtriya Puruskar. Recently, who has become the new governor of Karnataka? New governor of Karnataka, remember, it is Thawarchand Gehlot. Thawarchand Gehlot, he is the 19th governor of Karnataka. You have to remember these small details also, right? You have to go a little deep. And before him there was Vajubhai Wala, who was the governor. Now there is Thawarchand Gehlot. He is the former union minister also. And of course, we have Basavaraj Bommai. Basavaraj Bommai. So Basavaraj Bommai, he is the 23rd chief minister of Karnataka. He is Basavaraj Bommai, and he is the son of 11th chief minister of Karnataka, S.R. Bommai. And Basavaraj Bommai, he is a MLA from Shiggaon constituency in Haveri district. Understood? Now, why is S.R. Bommai so famous? Because there was a case, S.R. Bommai versus Union of India. It is a landmark case. What was this case about? It was about the misuse of Article 356, which is what we call the President's Rule or State Emergency. Article 356, where Supreme Court gave the guidelines so that the central government does not misuse the Article 356. And father and son, they both have made Karnataka proud by becoming chief minister. By the way, are they the first father-son duo to become chief minister? No. So H.D. Devegowda and his son H.D. Kumaraswamy, they both chief ministers of Karnataka. So they are the second father-son duo after H.D. Devegowda and H.D. Kumaraswamy. Now, Basavaraj Bommai is from the BJP, and H.D. Devegowda and H.D. Kumaraswamy, their party is called Janata Dal Secular. From India, 14 tiger reserves, they have received the accreditation of the Global Conservation Assured Tiger Standard, which is called CATS. So CATS is what? Conservation Assured Tiger Standards. They set the standards for the tiger reserve, which need to be followed by everyone. Right? So 14 tiger reserves in India, they have received the accreditation. Is there any tiger reserve from Karnataka in this? Yes, there is. There is one, which is Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Bandipur Tiger Reserve from Karnataka. Now, of course, Karnataka has lot of tiger reserve. There is Anshi Dandeli Tiger Reserve, and in Dandeli recently there was a crocodile park that was set up. It is the second crocodile park of India after Chennai in Tamil Nadu. We also have the Kudremukha National Park here. Kudremukha is there. Nagarhole is there. Then there is Banaragatta. Banaragatta National Park is there. Banaragatta, Bandipura, Nagarhole, Anshi Dandeli, and of course we have the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, which is a part of CATS now. And of course the other 13 tiger reserves were from other states, like for example Parambikulam from Kerala, Sundarbans from West Bengal, Dudhwa from UP, Valmiki from Bihar, and so on and so forth. Now, official government of India says that there are 51 tiger reserves in India. Now, the 52nd tiger reserve of India will be Ramgarh Vishdhari Tiger Reserve from Rajasthan, and 53rd will be Guru Ghasidas Tiger Reserve from Chhattisgarh. But they have been not notified by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. So, according to National Tiger Conservation Authority, there are still 51. And the 51st Tiger Reserve of India was Meghamalai, Shriviluputtur in Tamil Nadu. K.V. Sampath Kumar passed away. He ran the world's only Sanskrit daily digital newspaper from Mysuru. Right. So what is the name of the newspaper? And this newspaper was launched in 1970. Remember, this newspaper is called Sudharma. The answer is option B, Sudharma. And he and his wife, they both had gotten the Padma Shri also from the government of India in 2020 for contribution to their field of Sanskrit, that is literature and education. So this newspaper was started by his father, Pandit Varadaraj Iyengar, right? So Pandit Varadaraj Iyengar, he started this newspaper in 1970, and then he took the reign from his father. And this newspaper is published from Mysuru. It is the world's only Sanskrit daily newspaper. It is published digitally now, and it is called Sudharma. The second edition of Khelo India University Level Games will be held where? University Level Games. Remember, they will take place in Shri Kantiveer Stadium, Kantirava Stadium. So this is the name of the stadium, Kantirava Stadium. It is in Bengaluru. It is in Bengaluru. And these games will start from 5th of March 2022. And this is only the second edition of the Khelo India University Games. Right? And this is very, very important. Khelo India University Games. Basically, these games are for under 25 age category. And and where was the first Khelo India University game held? They took place in Bhubaneswar in February 2021. Which of the following airport of Karnataka has been inducted into the Airports Council International Director General's Role of Excellence for Exceptional Superior Customer Service? So this is the Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru. Kempegowda is also known as the founder of Bengaluru, the person who founded Bengaluru. Kempegowda International Airport got the ACI Roll of Honor by the Director General in Superior Customer Service. Now, Airport Council International is an organization that is headquartered in Montreal. Montreal is a city in Canada. And in Montreal, we also have the headquarters of World Anti-Doping Agency, International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, and IATA, International Air Transport Association. And who is the Civil Aviation Minister of India? It is Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia. Recently, there is a company called Epsilon. They have set up a 550 crore carbon black complex in which of the following place? So it has been set up in Bellary. The answer is Bellary, which is very famous for the mineral minings also. And what is Epsilon? The full name is Epsilon Carbon. Epsilon Carbon is a coal tar derivatives company. It is a coal tar derivatives company. The capacity of the plant will be 1,15,000 ton per annum, or TPA, ton per annum. This will be the capacity of the plant. And Epsilon has said for now they will be investing 550 crore, but they want to invest total of 900 crore into the project. It will come up in Bellary. Recently, who has been appointed as Honorary Consul General of Vietnam for Karnataka? So we are talking about Mr. N.S. Srinivas Murthy. N.S. Srinivas Murthy has been appointed Honorary Consul General of Vietnam in Bangalore, and by the way, Vietnam has opened its first Consul General office in Bangalore. The first Consul General office of Vietnam has been opened in Bangalore. Recently, Karnataka Chief Minister, the ex-Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa, he unveiled the Karnataka Electric Bike Taxi Scheme. The distance between the origin and destination for a trip shall not be more than how much according to this scheme. So what is this scheme? Basically, we will have electric bike taxi. There will be bikes which are run by electricity, electric bikes, and you can take those as taxi. The distance between the origin and destination for a trip shall not be more than 10 km. Right? So till 10 km they will be used. Karnataka Electric Bike Taxi Scheme will boost self-employment, promote eco-friendly environment, it will conserve fuel, it will strengthen public transport. And authority has already been issuing licenses under the scheme. Vehicle registered under this scheme will be in the transport category, for which the government will also give several exemptions like different tax rebates and also some financial benefits also. Which is the first government high school in the country to develop a satellite, and this school is from Karnataka. So it's a great honor that Malleshwaram Government School is the first government high school in India to develop a satellite, right? And this satellite was launched by ISRO recently. Recently, the Defense Minister of India visited, Rajnath Singh is his name, he visited the Karwar Naval Base. So let me tell you that Karwar is a coastal city in Karnataka. And why Karwar is very famous? Because Karwar is a base of Indian Navy. But now, it will be made as the largest naval base of India. The Karwar Naval Base will be developed as the largest naval base of India, and this project is called Project Seabird. Project Seabird. So Karwar is the name of a place, but what is the name of the base? It is called INS Kadamba. And at the moment, INS Kadamba is the third largest Indian naval base, but it will become largest naval base under Project Seabird. Karnataka has set up how many centers of excellence under the Indo-Israel Agriculture Project? Israel will help India in upgrading the agriculture. So there will be 3 centers of excellence that have been set up with the help of Israel. Very, very important question. So which are these 3 centers of excellence? So they have been set up for pomegranate. There is a fruit called pomegranate, right? One has been set up for mango and one has been set up for vegetables. So center of excellence for pomegranate, where will it be set up? It has been set up in Bagalkote district. For mango, it has been set up in Kolar, which is very famous for the gold mines, no? Kolar mine, Hutti mines. You must have studied this in your Karnataka static GK. And for vegetable, it will be set up in Dharwad, right? So 3 center of excellence have been set up with the help of Israel. Now with Israel, India recently completed 30 years of diplomatic relations also. The government has appointed which of the following as counselor in India's permanent mission in the World Trade Organization for 3 years? Which Indian and which Kannadiga, which person from Karnataka has been appointed as a counselor in India's permanent mission in World Trade Organization? His name is Ashish Chandorkar. The answer is Ashish Chandorkar. And WTO is headquartered in Geneva, which is in Switzerland. Karnataka government has unveiled a portal called Fruits Portal. Fruits, what is the full form? I think the full form is also very important. So Farmer Registration and Unified Beneficiary Information System, or Fruits. It's a e-governance portal to create a repository of farmland information and farm loan detail. The Fruits Portal will have all the information about the farmer. What is the loan that he has taken, or any default loan is there and all that. and the fruits portal will be integrated into the Bhumi package of the Karnataka state for fetching and validating the land detail of the farmer. So it will be integrated with the Bhumi package also. So which bank is running the fruits portal on a pilot basis? The first bank to start the fruit portal is the Canara Bank. The Canara Bank, you know that Canara Bank merged with the Syndicate Bank, no? So Canara Bank has agreed to run the fruits portal of the government of Karnataka. Karnataka has become the first state in India to provide reservation for the transgender community in all the government services. So what percent of reservation is provided for the transgender? So they have recently started providing 1% reservation in the police services for the transgender community. And for doing so, Karnataka modified the Karnataka Civil Service General Recruitment Rule of 1977. Right? So Karnataka amended the Karnataka Civil Service General Recruitment Rule of 1977 to be able to give 1% reservation to the transgenders. Brachystelemma tumakurense. You can see that it is named after Tumakuru, right? Tumkur or Tumakuru as they call it. So what is it a type of? It was discovered here. So remember, a new type of plant species. It is a new plant species which has been discovered from Tumakuru in Karnataka. Now Tumakuru is very famous for the Shakti Sthala, which at one point of time was India's biggest solar plant. And this plant species was discovered, it is a flowering plant, right? It was discovered from Tumakuru in Karnataka, named as Brachystelemma tumakurense. The state government of Karnataka, they have embarked upon a new industrial policy. So which place they want to set up an industrial corridor? Remember, they want to develop Dharwad industrial area as an industrial corridor. Why? Because Dharwad falls under the Bengaluru Mumbai Industrial Corridor Project, that is BMIC Industrial Corridor Project. So that is why they want to make Dharwad as a place for industries. It will be one of the industrial corridor. They want to develop Dharwad for the same. There is a dam over which there was a lot of protest. It is called Mekedatu Dam. It is coming up in the Ramnagar district of Karnataka. It is at the confluence of Kaveri and which river? So Mekedatu Dam is at the confluence of Kaveri and Arkavati river. The answer is option B. It is only 90 km away from Bengaluru, right? And it is at the border with Tamil Nadu. Okay, so Mekedatu Dam is at the place where Kaveri and Arkavati, they merge together. Of course, there is a Kaveri river dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu which has been going on for the last 100 years. Now, why is Ramnagar district very famous? It is famous for the Channapatna toys. There is a place called Channapatna. Channapatna is very famous for the toys. In fact, PM Narendra Modi has also mentioned about Channapatna toys in one of his Mann Ki Baat episode. And Channapatna toys are from Ramnagar district. This village Channapatna is in Ramnagar district. So this dam is a very big dam. You know, it is a project worth 9,000 crore rupees, and it is beneficial because it will provide drinking water to Bengaluru, because Bengaluru has a water shortage, and it will generate around 400 megawatt of power also. Moving on, which multilateral institution is giving a loan of $500 million for the metro rail expansion in Bengaluru? Namma Metro, right? It will be expanded. So there will be 2 new metro lines worth 56 km total that will be made. For that, loan is given by the Asian Development Bank. Asian Development Bank is providing a loan of $500 million for the same. Asian Development Bank is headquartered in Manila, and Manila is the capital of Philippines. And by the way, the Vice President of Asian Development Bank is an Indian, and his name is Ashok Lavasa. He is the Vice President of this bank. Centenarian, Gandhian and freedom fighter. We call centenarian when a person is more than 100 years old, right? So he was a centenarian, Gandhian and freedom fighter, H.S. Doraiswamy. He passed away. Which newspaper was started by him? This newspaper is called Pauravani. And he was born in 1918. So he was very old, and he was a Gandhian. He also participated in the Mysuru Chalo movement. Basically, he was a freedom fighter, right? And he ran the publication house of Sahitya Mandira and Indian nationalist newspaper Pauravani during the British Raj. So he also had a publication house which was called Sahitya Mandira. Sahitya Mandira. A farmer's leader, Baba Gowda Rudra Gowda Patil, passed away. He was a union minister in which ministry in the Vajpayee government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. He was the minister for basically rural areas and employment in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, and he represented Belagavi or Belgaon. So Belagavi Lok Sabha constituency in 1998. He was a member of parliament from here, and he became then the minister in the union cabinet. Recently, Shamala Ganesh, she is a teacher from Bengaluru. She was awarded the Order of the Rising Sun by which country? This is a very high civilian award of the government of Japan. In fact, Japan is known as the land of the rising sun because the sun rays first hit Japan. So Shamala Ganesh is a Japanese language teacher, and she was given Order of the Rising Sun by the government of Japan. Which of the following megalithic site from Karnataka is contending for the UNESCO Heritage Tag? It may become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has been added into the tentative list. It is very important to be added into the tentative list before it becomes a World Heritage Site. So it is the megalithic site at Higher Benakal village in Koppal. It is in Koppal. It is called Higher Benakal. It is a megalithic site, which means big stones are here. So Higher Benakal megalithic site contains stone structures that were constructed several thousand years ago, and it is the largest such site in the entire country, right? There are different types of Neolithic burial structures also that are found here, right? And it is very near to the Tungabhadra river also. So remember, it is in Koppal. What is the aim of the Akanksha portal that was launched recently by the government of Karnataka? So this is a portal for corporate social responsibility, CSR. What is CSR? The big companies, when they give money or donation or they help the society, it is called corporate social responsibility. So it is a digital portal that provides comprehensive information on all the CSR initiatives in the state of Karnataka. Akanksha portal. There is a Unkal Lake. It is a lake located between Hubbali and which city? So Unkal Lake was in news, because there is a statue of Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. There is a very large statue that is planned here, because there is a statue already which is here, but then it is very small. So the government of Karnataka wants to make a very big statue of Swami Vivekananda, and Unkal Lake is located between Hubbali and Dharwad. The answer is option A. It is a very popular picnic spot, and this lake is very old. It is more than 100 years old, and it is associated with a saint also called Shri Siddappaja. Shri Siddappaja saint. Was the Karma Bhumi, and there is an annual festival also that takes place in the memory of Saint Shri Siddappaja here. Now the government of Karnataka is planning a very big statue of Swami Vivekananda at the Unkal Lake. What is the name of the mobile app recently launched by the Karnataka government for pensioners to access their detail? If you are taking a pension, the monthly pension from the government, you can get all the details here. So this mobile app is called Navodaya. Navodaya mobile app. The Chief Minister of Karnataka, he led the foundation stone for the new Anubhav Mandap at which place? New Anubhav Mandap, it was launched in Basava Kalyan. Basava Kalyan. What is Basava Kalyan? So it is the place where the 12th century saint, philosopher and poet Bashveshwara lived for most of his life. Right? 12th century saint Bashveshwara. He lived here in Basava Kalyan for most of his life. And it will showcase the 12th century Anubhav Mandapa. Anubhav Mandapa is what? Anubhav Mandapa is referred to as the first parliament of the world. It is referred to as the first parliament of the world. And this building will adopt the Kalyan Chalukya style of architecture. Kalyan Chalukya style of architecture. It will be supported by 770 pillars. New Anubhav Mantapa. And the government will place a Shivalinga also. Shivaling at the top of this new Anubhav Mantapa. And Bashveshwarya was born where? So Bashveshwarya was born in Bagewadi. Bagewadi of undivided Bijapur district of Karnataka. He was born in Bagewadi. He was a social reformer. He lived from 1134 to 1168 by most accounts. And by the way, this word Kalyan, it reminds me that the Hyderabad Karnataka region was named as Kalyan Karnataka by the government last year. Hyderabad Karnataka region is now called Kalyan Karnataka. What is the rank of Karnataka in the Niti Aayog India Innovation Index? So, for second year in a row, Karnataka was number 1. In the India Innovation Index 2020 and 2019, both Karnataka was number 1. You can see Karnataka's score is maximum. Himachal was number 1 among the northeast or hilly state, and among union territory, Delhi is the most innovative union territory. So in the Niti Aayog India Innovation Index, Karnataka is number 1. Karnataka is also number 1 in the SEEI or State Energy Efficiency Index. State Energy Efficiency Index also, it is number 1. So the next question is related to that only. The State Energy Efficiency Index, Karnataka falls under which category? So the first thing that you need to remember that Karnataka was number 1 and Karnataka was into the front runner category. This category, there are 4 categories: front runner, achiever, contender or aspirant. Depends upon what is your score. So Karnataka's score was the highest. It was 70. So if your score is more than 60, you are front runner. So Karnataka was a front runner, which means Karnataka saves a lot of energy. Karnataka saves a lot of power. State Energy Efficiency Index was released by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which works under the Ministry of Power. Then there is another index called Sustainable Development Goals Urban Index. In this index, what was the rank of Bengaluru? So in this index, let me show you. Shimla was the best performing city, and Bengaluru and Aizawl, they both were joint 13. So the rank of Bengaluru is 13th, right? In the Sustainable Development Goals Urban Index. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations which needs to be realized by 2030. What is the rank of Karnataka Pollution Control Board? In the Transparency Index, this index was given by the Center for Science and Environment. You can see Odisha was the best performing, right? Odisha, and Karnataka State Pollution Control Board was at 6th position. The answer is 6th. And this index basically shows the good work that the Pollution Control Board of any state does. What is the rank of Karnataka in the Niti Aayog's Health Index? It shows the quality of healthcare. And although Karnataka have a lot of good doctors like Dr. Devi Shetty, the founder of the Narayana Group of Hospitals, there is Manipal Hospitals and all, but overall the healthcare in Karnataka is very poor. Okay, so you can see here that among the large states, Karnataka was at 9th position. Karnataka has lot of room to grow in this area. The best healthcare in India is in Kerala, and Karnataka was at 9th position. The Karnataka Chief Minister, ex-Chief Minister, it is understood now because it is a full 1 year video, no? And midway, the Chief Minister got changed. So the Karnataka ex-Chief Minister Yedurappa recently launched a software called Avlokan. What is the use of this software? What is the use of this software? So remember, Avlokan software was launched recently and it has a very specific purpose. It is a transparency e-governance tool. Right? So Avlokan, the word Avlokan means basically sight or your ability to see. So this software will enable the state government of Karnataka to access the data on expenditure and money, means how much the expenditure is there by the each department and how much is the expenditure on different schemes, how much is the expenditure on different projects. So this software provides a very focused eye view on sustainable development goals. So it is a transparency e-governance tool that will provide the details of release of funds release of grants, release of revenue, release of expenditure by the government. What is the length of Kochi to Mangaluru natural gas pipeline that was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? So there is a 450 kilometer pipeline from Kochi in Kerala to Mangaluru, which is in coastal Karnataka, and it has been built with a investment of 3000 crore, right? And what is the length? It is 450 kilometer. This is a part of One Nation, One Gas Grid. One Nation, One Gas Grid, and this program is known as Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga, where we are building these long pipelines. So this pipeline will carry the natural gas from Kochi in Kerala through Ernakulam, Thrissur, Palakkad, Mallapuram, Kozhikode, Kannur and Kasaragod, finally to Mangaluru. Kasaragod technically is in Kerala, but Kasaragod is at the border of Kerala and Karnataka. And a lot of people speak Kannada in Kasaragod. So Kasaragod district will also be provided natural gas, and Mangaluru, of course. Mangaluru in Dakshin Kannada district of Karnataka. And this pipeline has been set up by GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited, is a Maharatna company. Which of the following program recently launched by the Karnataka government with the aim of improving immunity among the children? So what is the name of that program? It is called Arogya Nandan. Arogya Nandan scheme was launched. The purpose was to improve the immunity in children. Arogya Nandan. In this program, children who have less immunity, they will be provided nutritious food and supplement to boost their immunity. Immunity is the ability of the body to fight disease. Mumbai Karnataka region will now be renamed as what? So Mumbai Karnataka region, you know, what is there in the Mumbai Karnataka region? So Mumbai Karnataka region comprises Belagavi, Uttar Kannada, Dharwad, Vijaypura, Gadag, Bagalkote and Haveri district of Karnataka. Now it will be named as Kittur Karnataka. This announcement was done by Basavaraj Bombay. Why Kittur Karnataka? Because there was a queen of Kittur. Her name was Rani Chennamma. Her name was Rani Chennamma. And she was a great person. She was a warrior. So Kittur is basically, in present day, Kittur is a place where it is in Belagavi. It is in Belagavi. And Kittur was ruled by the Marathas in the 18th century. And then you know there was an Anglo-Maratha war. Then the Britishers took it over. And then it was under the control of Malla Saraja. So Malla Saraja and his son, they were killed by the British. After that, the wife of Malla Saraja, Rani Chennamma, ruled Kittur in the 19th century. So then she adopted a boy. But she adopted, you know, it was not her own boy or own child. So then there was a doctrine of lapse policy, where if a kingdom is with no king or a blood related heir to the throne, then it comes under the direct rule of the British. So this was a conspiracy by the British to annex her kingdom. But she fought bravely. Rani Chennamma. So we want to pay tribute to her. We want to tell the world that there was a Rani Chennamma. So that is why Mumbai Karnataka region will be now named as Kittur Karnataka. Which of the following is the scheme recently launched by the Karnataka government which will enable the citizens of Karnataka to get home delivery of 53 important government services? So this scheme is called Jan Sevaka. So there were two schemes that were launched by the government of Karnataka. One is Jan Sevaka and then we have the Jan Spandana. Now Jan Spandana is for the grievances redressal. If you have any complaint, so resolution of that will be done under the Jan Spandana. So both are completely different. Jan Sevaka and Jan Spandana. Moving on. Which of the following scheme will offer a one-stop platform for citizens to raise their complaint on any government scheme or service? So as I said, it is Jan Spandana. So Jan Spandana is basically nothing. It is a call center where you can dial a number 1902 and it is a toll-free number and you can raise complaint. So Jan Spandana will cover more than 600 schemes and services of the government. So if you have a problem in any of these 600 services, you can dial Jan Spandana helpline. Who has been appointed as the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court? Karnataka High Court Chief Justice is Justice Ritu Raj Avasthi. Justice Ritu Raj Avasthi, and he replaced Justice Abhay Srinivas Oka. So before him there was Abhay Srinivas Oka, and Abhay Srinivas Oka became a judge of the Supreme Court in August 2021. So the position was vacant and Ritu Rajavasti has filled the position. Experts have suggested declaring Malabar tree toad as the Karnataka state frog. What is the IUCN status of Malabar tree toad? So Malabar tree toad, the IUCN status is endangered. It is endangered species according to International Union for Conservation of Nature. And this frog is located in the Western Ghats. No wonder it is called Malabar tree toad. Malabar coast is a part of the western coast. Right? Malabar tree toad is also known as Warty Asian tree toad. WARTY, Warty Asian tree toad. It is found in Western Ghats of Great Karnataka or Deccan. And it is a very small frog. It is not a very large frog. And this frog likes to live in very wet places like wet tree hollows or leaf bases containing water. It is endangered and it has been declared as the state frog of Karnataka. Karnataka's first liquefied natural gas terminal will be set up where? So it will be set up with the help of a Singapore-based company called LNG Alliance, and it will be set up in Mangaluru. This will be the first LNG terminal of Karnataka. Mangaluru Port Trust. It is a major port of India. The government of Karnataka has launched India's first AVGC Center of Excellence. AVGC means Animation, Visual Effects, Gaming and Comics in which city? This has been launched recently in Madhavpura. Not Madhavpura, Mahadevpura. Mahadevpura is in Bengaluru. The answer is Bengaluru. It will be funded by the Department of Electronics and Information Technology and also by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Karnataka is the first state to set up a Center of Excellence for AVGC. What is the aim of Gram 1 initiative that has been started by the government of Karnataka? Gram 1 means you want to take the government, banking and other key services at the village level. The answer is option A. It has been launched by Basavaraj Bommai. Right? And it has been launched in the rural areas of 12 districts of Karnataka. So Gram 1 initiative will be launched in the 12 districts of Karnataka. And as many as 30,000 Gram 1 centers will be opened across Karnataka to provide different government services at the rural level. So 30,000 government backed Gram 1 centers will be opened. These are very similar to the common service centers which are run by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Karnataka government will set up Spices Park in which place? Do you know which Indian state is the largest producer of spices? It is Kerala. And in fact, the headquarters of Spices Board of India is in Kochi in Kerala. So Karnataka will set up Spices Park at a place called Ambale. And Ambale is in Chikmagaluru. So the answer is Chikmagaluru, which is very famous for coffee cultivation. The Mandalapatti hills in Karnataka, they are blossoming with the rare blue and purplish hue of the Neelakurinji flower. Now Neelakurinji flowers are known as Strobilanthes kunthiana. This flower blooms only once in how many years? Rare Neelakurinji flowers, also called flowers of love. So they are very beautiful and they also have medicinal value. So they bloom once in 12 years. In fact, you must have heard about the Nilgiri Hills. Nilgiri Hills are located at the junction of the eastern and the western Ghats. Nilgiri Hills are located in both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and some part of Kerala also. So Nilgiri Hills are named Nilgiri after the Neelakurinji flowers only. Understood or not? And the Mandalapatti Hills in Karnataka, they also have the Neelakurinji flowers. Moving on. Karnataka now has a new district, Vijayanagar. So Vijayanagar is named after the Vijayanagar Empire of Raja Krishna Deva Rai. Right? Vijayanagar district. It is which number district of Karnataka? So remember, it is the 31st district of Karnataka and it has been carved out from Ballari district. It has been carved out of the mine-rich Ballari district. So Vijayanagar will have Hospat, Harapanahalli, Kudligi, Huvina Hadagalli, Hagari Bomanahalli and Kottaru Taluk. And Hospat will be the administrative capital of Vijayanagar. Now, one advantage of Vijayanagar is that the Hampi will also be in Vijayanagar. So, and Hampi is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. How many World Heritage Sites are there in Karnataka? Only two. There is the Pattadakal group of temples and there is Hampi. Now, Vijayanagar district will have lot of tourism because of Hampi. Understood? And Krishna Dev Rai was Vijayanagar Empire ruler from 1509 to 1529, and he was the third ruler of the Tulava dynasty. Right? He ruled the largest empire of India after the decline of the Delhi Sultanate. How much financial assistance will be provided under the recently launched Seva Sindhu scheme, which is for the drivers? So remember, if you are a driver, if you are a registered driver, all you have to do, and even if you are not registered, what you need to do, you need to register yourself. The Karnataka government should know how many drivers are there in Karnataka. And Seva Sindhu scheme is for taxi driver, cab driver and auto rickshaw driver. If you register yourself, you get 3000 rupees lump sum by the government of Karnataka. So 3000 rupees is the financial help that will be given. Karnataka's first mining school will come up in which of the following place? Karnataka's first mining school will come up in Ballari. It will come up in Ballari. And there will be training in the management of mines and technical skills will also be provided. Ballari, by the way, is the mining hub of Karnataka. Mining hub of Karnataka. And the Department of Mines and Geology will implement this project. The first mining school will come up in an area of 50 acres in Ballari. Is it the first institute of mining in India? No, it is Karnataka's first, but India's second. So which is India's first? India's first is ISM Dhanbad, Indian School of Mines Dhanbad, which is now known as IIT Dhanbad. Dhanbad is in Jharkhand. India's first toy manufacturing cluster will be set up at which location? So remember, it will be set up in Bhanapur. There is a village called Bhanapur which is in Koppal. So the answer is Bhanapur village of Koppal. India's first toy cluster. The Koppal toys are very, very popular. They are made from local wood. They don't have any chemicals. They are very safe for children. And 400 acres of land will be used to develop the first toy manufacturing cluster of India. It will generate 25,000 direct jobs and 1 lakh indirect jobs. This toy manufacturing cluster will have more than 100 small units where toys will be made. Former Governor of Karnataka, Justice M. Rama Joyce, passed away. He was the former Chief Justice of which High Court of India? So he was the Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. You can also call it the Chandigarh High Court because it is located in the capital of Punjab and Haryana, Chandigarh. Moving on. India's first centralized AC railway terminal will be set up in Karnataka at which location? India's first AC railway terminal. So this is Sir M. Vishveshwarya Railway Terminal. Vishveshwarya is the same person whose birthday we celebrate as the National Engineers Day. So it has been set up in Bengaluru. Sir M. Vishveshwarya is the name of the terminal. Sir M. Vishveshwarya Railway Terminal in Bengaluru is India's first AC railway terminal. India's first dedicated express cargo terminal for import and export of international courier has been launched at which airport? It has been launched at the Bengaluru International Airport. The answer is option D. Right? India's first dedicated express cargo terminal for import and export of international courier. So a lot of companies like DHL Express and FedEx and all of these big courier companies, they will set up their base here. It will improve the logistics in Karnataka. Which of the following bank has launched a scheme, Vikas Asha Loan Scheme for women? Vikas Asha Loan Scheme, it has been launched for women entrepreneurs. So in this scheme, the bank will provide a loan of maximum 10 lakh rupees. And this loan has to be paid back within 84 months or 7 years. So this scheme has been started by the Karnataka Vikas Gramin Bank. Karnataka Vikas Gramin Bank is located in Dharwad. The headquarters is in Dharwad. Who will be the new chairman of ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, which is headquartered in Bengaluru? It is S. Somnath. Dr. S. Somnath He is the new chairman of ISRO. And don't forget that Google recently honored Dr. Udupi Ramchandra Rao. He was from Udupi district of Karnataka, coastal Karnataka, right? So Professor Udupi Ramchandra Rao, you can see that his photo is there, and he was known as the satellite man of India because he was responsible for launching India's first satellite called Aryabhatta in 1975. So Professor Udupi Ramchandra Rao was known as the satellite man of India. Who was the first chairman of SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is now the capital market regulator? And he was the first chairman. He was from Karnataka. He passed away recently. What was his name? He was G.V. Ramakrishna. G.V. Ramakrishna from Karnataka. He was the first chairman of SEBI. He passed away recently. Aero India show happened 2021 in Karnataka. It was the 13th Aero India show. Where did it take place? It took place at the Yelahanka Air Force Station, which is in Bengaluru. Yelahanka Air Force Station in Bengaluru. Very important. The first Aero India took place in 1996, right? And it takes place every 2 years. So this was the 13th Aero India show. 13th Aero India show. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, he inaugurated Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's their second LCA Tejas production line in which city? It was launched in Bengaluru. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is headquartered in Bengaluru, and in Bengaluru itself, they will manufacture Tejas. They need more lines, production line, because they have got an order. They have got an order of 48,000 crore from the government of India to buy 83 LCA Tejas, light combat aircraft Tejas. Tejas were called Tejas by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So these are fighter jets. 83 fighter jets Tejas will be purchased by the government of India from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for a 48,000 crore. Which tourist place from Karnataka? They are included by University Grants Commission for students to visit under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. So there are 5 places: Aihole, Bellur, Bijapur, Hampi and Pattadakal. These are the 5 places which the students of India will visit as a part of the cultural exchange, right, under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Now let's talk about the Padma Shri Awards, very latest, 2021, which were given in December 2021. So 5 people have got the Padma Shri from Karnataka. Okay, in fact, the Padma Shri Awards of 2020, they were also given in November 2021. So you need to remember both. But the ones of 2021 are more important. So 5 Padma Shri, they have been awarded from Karnataka. Who are these 5 people? There is Siddha Lingayya, who was a poet. H.R. Keshav Murthy from Carnatic music. There is Hindustani classical, which is in North India, and Carnatic music, which is in South India. They both are the classical music of India. Subanna Ayappan, food scientist. Abdul Kadar Nadakattin for agriculture, and Amai Mahalinga Nayak for agriculture. But you need to know about them in detail. So first let me tell you about Professor Siddha Lingayya. He was a Dalit activist. He was a poet also. He died because of COVID. And he introduced Dalit writing in Kannada literature. He was one of the founders of Dalit Sangharsh Samiti, which is a major organization for Dalit rights, right? So he was also a professor and director at Ambedkar Study and Research Center. Then there is Dr. Subanna Ayappan. He is an environmental scientist and a PhD degree holder from Bangalore University, and he published research papers on fisheries, limnology and aquatic microbiology. He is a former director of Indian Council of Agriculture Research and Chancellor of Central Agriculture University in Imphal. H.R. Keshav Murthy, he was an exponent of the famous art Gamaka. It is a form of storytelling through songs and poems. That is a tradition in Karnataka. He was from Shimoga. Abdul Kadar Nadakattin, grassroots innovator. He discovered many machines, many different types of machines. He was from Karnataka, right? Dharwad. And he devised lot of low-cost method of agriculture for the poor farmers. And finally, Amai Mahalinga Nayak, also known as the Tunnel Man of Karnataka, because he made many tunnels so that the groundwater can be accessed. So these are the 5 people who got the Padma Shri. Now let me talk about the union ministers from Karnataka. Okay, so first is Prahlad Joshi. He is the Minister for Coal and Parliamentary Affair. He is from which constituency? His constituency is Dharwad. His constituency is Dharwad, and he is the Minister for Coal and Parliamentary Affairs. A. Narayan Swamy. He is the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. He is from which constituency? So basically he is a Minister of State in this ministry. He reports to the Cabinet Rank Minister, Virender Kumar. Because Virender Kumar is the Cabinet Rank Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment. His constituency is Chitradurga. Chitradurga, of course, he is from BJP. Shobha Karandlaje, Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. So she will report to Narendra Singh Tomar, the Cabinet Rank Minister. What is her constituency? Her constituency is Udupi. Chikmagaluru, Udupi. Understood? And he is the Minister of State in Agriculture Ministry. Then Rajiv Chandrasekhar. He is a Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament for third time in a row. A Rajya Sabha MP is for 6 years, okay, and Lok Sabha MP is for 5 years. So he is the Minister of State right now in the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. There he reports to the Cabinet Rank Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, and MeitY. So there he will report to Ashwani Vaishnav. Bhagwant Khoba. He is the Minister of State in the New and Renewable Energy, where he will report to R.K. Singh, and Chemical Fertilizer, where he will report to Mansukh Mandaviya. And he is the Lok Sabha MP for Bidar. So these are the ministers in the Union Cabinet from Karnataka. What is the rank of NIT Karnataka, NIT Surathkal, that is in Karnataka, in the NIRF ranking framework among the engineering colleges? So you can see that in the top 10, now here you will find the NIT Surathkal at 10th position. So it is the 10th best engineering college of India overall. And you can see that all the above it are IITs. Only one NIT is better, NIT Tiruchirappalli. Otherwise, it is the second best NIT in India, NIT Surathkal. And these are the official rankings. NIRF is the official ranking by the Ministry of Education. Now let's see the overall ranking. You can see in the overall ranking, only one University of Karnataka is there. Okay, it is the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. So this is ranked second in India overall after IIT Madras. So you can say the second best institute in India overall is in Karnataka, Indian Institute of Science. It is in Bengaluru. Now let's talk about some other ranking, which is called Atal Ranking of Institution. Again, it is the official ranking by the Ministry of Education, but this ranking is mainly on innovation and innovation mainly, right? So is there any from Karnataka in top 10? If there wasn't, I would not be including this question. So there is, you can see at 6th position we have Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. In terms of innovation, Atal Ranking of Institution overall in India under the Institution of National Importance and Central University, it is at 6th position. Karnataka government will establish a military school in the name of which freedom fighter? So remember, it is Sangoli Rayanna. And who was Sangoli Rayanna? Now recently I told you about the Queen of Kittur, Rani Chennamma. So Sangoli Rayanna helped the Queen of Kittur in the fight against the British, right? So Sangoli Rayanna was an Indian revolutionary, military chief and warrior in the Kittur princely state. Understood? So Sangoli Rayanna, on his name, military school will be set up in Karnataka, and it will be set up by the Ministry of Defense. Recently, there was a data center called Data Samudra. It has been set up at which location in Karnataka? It has been set up by private company called Tele India Networks. Tele India Networks. It is called Data Samudra. It has been set up in Bengaluru. It is India's first on-demand, on-requirement data center, Data Samudra. It is located in KIADB IT Park in Bangalore. Which of the following actor was recently honored with the Karnataka Ratna Award? Our very dear Appu. He passed away, very unfortunate. He suffered a heart attack when he was doing gym. Son of the great Dr. Rajkumar, Punit Rajkumar. one of his 3 sons. And he was also running so many philanthropic initiatives. He runs a coaching also, which I personally know, Dr. Rajkumar Coaching. Great person, one of the greatest persons. He passed away, Puneet Rajkumar. He was awarded Karnataka Ratna. Karnataka Ratna is the highest civilian honor in Karnataka. Right? And he was the 10th recipient of Karnataka Ratna. Moving on. Which of the following politician was recently conferred with the Super Corona Warrior Award? Super Corona Warrior Award was given to B.S. Yedurappa. Why? Because he suffered from corona 2 times, but nothing happened to him. The central government recently approved to build a plastic park at which of the following city? Plastic park will be set up at a place called Ganji Mutt. Ganji Mutt is in Mangaluru. Mangaluru is in Karnataka. The answer is Mangaluru. It will be set up on 104 acres of land. The cost will be 62.77 crore rupees. 50% money will be given by Karnataka government, 50% by the central government. Which department of government of Karnataka has signed a LOU with UNDP based in New York as a part of the state level initiative called Code Unnati? Code Unnati. Code Unnati is what? We want to improve the access to entrepreneurship and employment opportunities among the youth, especially women. So for that, the Youth Empowerment and Sports Department of Karnataka, they are partnering with UNDP, United Nations Development Program. How many Kempegoda heritage sites have been identified in Karnataka for promoting tourism? So remember, there are total 46 Kempegoda heritage sites, and these are located in Bengaluru Urban, Bengaluru Rural, Ramnagar, Chikkaballapura and Tumakuru. So these are located at these places: Bengaluru Urban, Bengaluru Rural, Ramnagar, Chikkaballapura and Tumakuru. So these have been identified. These will be developed at a cost of 233 crore for promoting tourism. Right? Kempegoda was also called Nad Prabhu Kempegoda. He is the founding father of Bengaluru. Karnataka accounts for 14% of India's total area under flower production. How many hectare of land is under flower cultivation? Do you know? 75% of flowers in India come from Karnataka. 75%. So there is 18,000 hectare land in Karnataka under flower production or floriculture. Very important. And now Karnataka has decided to set up India's first flower auction center. Flower auction center. And don't forget that the horticulture department of Karnataka will set up flower processing center now. Flower processing center, because a lot of flower is wasted. So this flower can be converted to other products. It will be set up in collaboration with International Flower Auction Bangalore, IFAB. So we will convert unsold flowers into useful products. Archaeological Survey of India, Hampi, they have asked to promote Sannati as a World Heritage Site. Okay, we try at least to get a World Heritage Site status for Sannati. Now Sannati is a Buddhist site. Okay, where is it located? Sannati is located in Kalaburgi. First of all, you have to remember it is located in Kalaburgi district. And it is located on the bank of which river? Bhima. It is located on the bank of Bhima river in Chittapur Taluk of Kalaburgi district. And Archaeological Survey of India wants Sannati to be developed as a World Heritage Site. Which of the following are the intended beneficiaries of Raitya Vidya Nidhi scheme started by the government of Karnataka? Raita Vidya Nidhi scheme. So remember, it is to provide scholarships to the children of farmers. So the answer is the children of farmer, they should be the beneficiary. We will provide them scholarship. Raita Vidya Nidhi scheme is a scholarship scheme launched. It was launched on 7th of August 2021 to give scholarship to the children of farmers in the state. And scholarship will be of rupees 2,500 to rupee 11,000. This will be given to those children of farmers who are pursuing higher education. Who is the beneficiary of Vanita Sangati? It's a free monthly bus pass initiative by the Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation, BMTC. So it is women garment workers. the women garment worker, they will be given free monthly bus pass, and this initiative is known as Vanita Sangati. Now recently the government of Karnataka, they have informed the central government that they do not support Kasturi Rangan committee report on Western Ghat. Kasturi Rangan committee was set up to protect the Western Ghat, and Kasturi Rangan committee is saying that 37% of the total area of the Western Ghat should be declared eco-sensitive area, which means no activity, no human activity, no hotel construction, no industries, nothing. But then what will happen to the economy? So the Karnataka government is saying, if we declare 37% of Western Ghat as eco-sensitive area, then it will affect the livelihood of the people. So they are not agreeing to this. Recently, which of the following estuary? Estuary is a place where the river meets the ocean, okay, without forming a delta. So which of the following estuary from Karnataka will be pitched for the Ramsar tag? The government of Karnataka wants it to become a Ramsar site. See, Karnataka has 0 Ramsar site. India now has 49 Ramsar site and there is 0 in Karnataka. So this is Aghanashini. Aghanashini estuary. Remember, Aghanashini estuary, the government of Karnataka wants it to be declared as a Ramsar site. And it has lot of rich mangrove vegetation. There are lot of bird species. 120 different types of birds come here. Right? And Ramsar is a place in Iran. It is basically the International Convention for the Conservation on Wetlands. It came into effect in 1975. Right? So, Aghanashini. Ranganathittu Bird Sanctuary is located where in Karnataka? Ranganathittu, it is located on the bank of the Kaveri river in Sriranganapattna. It is in Mandya district of Karnataka, and it has also been selected for pitching to the Ramsar site. Now remember, these places have not become Ramsar site, okay, but government of Karnataka want them to become. And Aghanashini river originates in which district? Aghanashini river originates at Shankar Honda. Shankara Honda. It is in Sirsi town. You must have heard about Sirsi Supari, which got the GI tag 2 years back. So Sirsi town is in Uttar Kannada district, right? So it takes origin from there. So these are the 4 places that Karnataka government want them to become Ramsar site. One is the Ranganathittu Bird Sanctuary in Mandya, Aghanashini Estuary in Uttar Kannada, Magadi Shettikar Tank in Gadag, and Anka Samudra in Ballari. These are the 4 places which can become Ramsar site in the future. When was Mysuru's iconic Lalita Mahal Palace built? It was in news recently because it has completed 100 years. It is now a 100-year-old monument. It was built on 18th of November 1921. The answer is 1921. So on 18th of November 2021 it completed 100 years. Right? So exactly 100 years back it was built. Its foundation stone was led by Krishna Raj Wadiyar IV. He was the Maharaja of the Mysore Kingdom. And now let me tell you about the Padma Awards 2020. These were given in November 2021. So these can be important for exams. So these are all the awardees. 7 awardees are there. Vijay Shankeshwar for Trade Industry. Vidushi Jayalakshmi KV Sampat Kumar, Literature and Education. And you know these people, right? Sudharma newspaper, I told you, right? Sanskrit newspaper. Harekala Hajabba, Social Work. Tulsi Gowda, Social Work. Bharat Goenka, Trade Industry. Bangalore Gangadhar, Medicine. And MP Ganesha, Sports. Which of the following actor was awarded the Basavashri Award? Basavashri Award was also given to Mr. Puneet Rajkumar. Mr. Puneet Rajkumar. Now if you want, I can tell you about these people one line if you want. So for example, let me start with Dr. Vijay Shankeshwar. He is an Indian businessman from Dharwad, and he along with Mr. Anand Sankeshwar is the chairman of India's largest logistics company, which is called VRL Logistics. Okay. Then these people I told you, they started Sanskrit newspaper called Sudharma from Mysuru. Then we have Harekala Hajabba, Social Work. Okay. So he is from Mangaluru. He works in Mangaluru, and he has built a school from the money that he saved for the poor children. Tulsi Gowda, again, she is a tribal woman from Karnataka, and she got the award for environment conservation. Bharat Goenka Trade Industry is an industrialist. He is the co-founder of a company called Tally Solutions. So he has contributed to job creation. Bangalore Gangadhar, he is a psychiatrist, a very senior doctor at Nimhans. You must be knowing Nimhans is a very important college, National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. So he is a doctor there. And MP Ganesha. MP Ganesh is a former hockey player from Karnataka. Okay, enterotoxemia, recently seen in the news, is related to which of the following? Enterotoxemia, remember, it is a disease. It is a disease, and because of this disease, 35 sheep died recently in Shimoga. Understood? That is why enterotoxemia was in news. And there is a bacteria which caused this disease called Clostridium perfringens. Clostridium perfringens. Mahiti Kanaja. It is the umbrella portal or the main portal for updated information from various departments. It will provide to all the visitors information on how many services by the government of Karnataka. So Mahiti Kanaja is a Karnataka umbrella portal. It will provide information on 157 services. And this has been done to reduce RTI queries. Because if anyone wants to ask anything to the government of Karnataka, they file RTI. So there is a RTI pendency. So that is why Mahiti Kanaja portal has been launched. It will provide information about 157 government services. Right? Moving on. The scientists of the Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, they are geotagging which bird at the Kokrebellur in Mandya district to track their flight path and to study their migratory pattern. So which bird is that? This is the spot-billed pelican. Spot-billed pelican. These birds will be geotagged in Kokrebellur in Mandya. And Karnataka government has recently launched 11 schemes. These are all named as Amrit. Okay. Amrit special scheme 11. So let me tell you more about them. Let me first read out what is the name. Amrit Gram Panchayat, Rural Housing, School Infrastructure, Farmer Producer Organization, FPO, Nirmal Nagar Anganwadi Center, Amrit Self-Help Micro Enterprise, Community Development Program, Health Infrastructure Upgradation Scheme, Skill Training and Sports Adoption. Let me tell you now one by one. All of these 11 schemes were launched on Independence Day of 2021 by Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. So let's start one by one. Amrit Gram Panchayat. Under this scheme, the state government will select 750 Gram Panchayat in the state for development, thereby ensuring basic amenity right and benefit to the resident. 750. Now one thing that you should remember, why all the things are 75 and 750, because 2022 is the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Okay. So Amrit Gram Panchayat, how many Gram Panchayat will be selected? 750. Amrit Nirmal Nigam. The state government will provide financial assistance of 1 crore rupees to 75 urban local bodies. Okay. Then Rural Housing Scheme. 750 Gram Panchayat, there will be housing facility for every homeless person. In how many Gram Panchayat? 750. Then there is Amrit FPO, Farmer Producer Organization. Financial assistance of 30 lakh rupees will be given to each FPO for 3 years. Then Amrit School Infrastructure Program. Through this scheme, grant of 10 lakh rupee will be given to 750 schools in the state. Amrit Anganwadi Center. 750 Anganwadi will get 1 lakh rupees. Amrit Self-Help Micro Enterprise. 7,500 self-help groups will be given 1 lakh rupees. Amrit Community Development Program. 750 schools and colleges will be given community services. Amrit Health Infrastructure. 750 primary health center will be given 20 lakh rupees. Amrit Skill Training. 75,000 youngsters will be given total of 112 crore rupees loan. Amrit Sports Adoption. 75 sportsmen, they will be trained for the Paris Olympics in 2024. Easy, no? Easy. Anyways, who has received the Kuvempu Rashtriya Puruskaram for the year 2020? So this award was given to Rajendra Kishore Panda. He is a Odia writer. Kuvempu, you know, was known as the Rashtra Kavi. You know, he is the greatest, Kannada author. And Rashtra Kavi Kuvempu Trust gives this award. This trust was started in 1992. Karnataka has decided to enroll how many families into the flagship Kutumba ID database project? Kutumba means house. Kutumb or home. So Karnataka will enroll 5 lakh families into the Kutumba database. The answer is 5 lakh. And Kutumba project is what? So Kutumba project, the objective is to be a comprehensive database to create an integrated social protection system so that the social protection schemes in Karnataka, they reach the right families. The Election Commission of India, they have proposed to set up systematic voter education and electoral participation museum and capacity building at which city? Sweep Museum. Sweep Museum will be set up in Mysuru. The answer is Mysuru, very important. And sweep is what? Systematic voter education and electoral participation. By the way, 25th of January in India we celebrate as National Voters Awareness Day. South India's first train, which is the train which has Vistadome coaches? It is the first train of South India which has Vistadome coaches. What is the name of the train? It is Yashwantpur Mangaluru Express. Mangaluru to Yashwantpur. Yashwantpur is a place near Bangalore. So Mangaluru Yashwantpur Express. It is the first train of South India with Vistadome coaches. And Vistadome coaches, they are manufactured where? At the Integral Coach Factory in Chennai. And finally, the Karnataka government has started e-Asti project. It is to digitize the property documents. So it is a part of the modernization of land records. The project is called e-Asti. So e-Asti software was developed by the National Informatics Center for all the urban local bodies of Karnataka. So that was the video for Karnataka by me, Dr. Gaurav Garg. Again, this was a very comprehensive video for your exams, and my experience of teaching current affairs to more than 10 million students on Study IQ is the experience, is the authority with which I bring to you this video. If you want to study current affairs from me, then feel the difference, come to our mobile app and you can enroll in any of the courses. By the way, we also have courses for Karnataka for different exams. Again, for that also you have to download the Study IQ app. If you want the PDF of this video for revision, then you come to my Telegram group, or I will be putting a form. You can fill the form and you can download the free PDF. So thank you. Namaskara.